Hello, beautiful humans. I'm actually making this video for you from Bali. I have been in Bali for a month and I fly back home to the US tomorrow. And I really wanted to make this video for you now so you can feel into my presence because I've been deeply impacted by this month-long solitary retreat here on this sacred island. And vibrationally, this trip, it is October 2022. So next summer of 2023 is when we will be in Bali together. And I just wanted you to be able to feel into my presence after being in Bali for a month. Because Bali is a vibrational field. And the vibrational field that is Bali will impact you deeply. The beautiful, loving people of Bali will impact your vibration. They are a gentle, loving people whose cultural focus is all on beauty. And the gentleness of the people here is just, you can't help but feel it. Their culture, their way of being is in so many ways diametrically opposite of our American way of being. Even when I've slowed way down, I sometimes catch myself walking on the street like I'm in a hurry. And you just don't experience that vibration from people here. I bring that vibration in, but that is not the vibration of Bali. Bali is slow. Bali is gentle. Bali is reverent. When you get here, you'll see that they make offerings all the time. It's like they live their lives as prayer, and they're constantly making offerings. My driver, when he picks me up, he almost always has rice on his forehead because he went to the temple to pray for a safe journey before he picks me up. They're just so plugged into the divine through their religious structures. And if you know me, you know I'm not very invested in anybody's religion. Like, I don't practice a religion. My religion is love. But I so appreciate the devotion that these people have to their spiritual lives. And another thing that I just love about Bali is culturally, everything is about beauty. Like, I have a story in my head, and now I'm starting to doubt it, but I'm going to tell you the story anyhow, that in the old Balinese language, they didn't even have a word for art, because why would you make something if you weren't going to make it beautiful? So our Western concept of art, to set out to make visual art, to make something intentionally beautiful, was just kind of foreign to them before Westerners came here, because, well, why would you make anything if you weren't going to make it beautiful? So when you're here in Bali, you're just surrounded by beauty. And the landscaping and the way they do things here, it's just naturally beautiful. It's who they are. I'm staying at a very affordable, what I would call a homestay, a little tiny Airbnb. It's a homestay. Like, my caretaker lives in that home right there. And there are 3 beautiful little huts. I'm in one of 3 little huts. And they're just adorable and cheap. Because this is not a fancy place, but even a not fancy place is beautiful. because Bali's about beauty. So I named this retreat Beauty, Balance, Bali, because these people live in beauty and they live in balance. They're not so out of balance like we Americans are. And they live in connection with all of life. So next summer, we're going to be impacted by the way the Balinese live in beauty and balance. As we do our practices on the sacred dance floor, as we do structural realignment integration with Ginny, as you're impacted by Shirley's beautiful presence and by Joan's work with Interplay. I have gathered together 4 fabulous facilitators, space holders, to hold space for you for 3 weeks in Bali, in 3 exquisite locations. The first week in the mountains, the second week by the sea, the third week in Ubud, the cultural capital of Bali. Ubud has really figured out how to share their culture beautifully. And it's basically a city rooted in tourism, and the tourism is rooted in sharing their culture. So 2 weeks in relative isolation. We will go out into the culture a little bit in the first 2 weeks, but mostly we'll be doing our practices and going deep into the center of your soul. And then we'll spend the 3rd week really interacting with Balinese culture. And I promise you, and I am not overstating this, I promise you, you will come back to the U.S. deeply changed. I hope you'll explore more deeply and decide that you want to be with us in Bali next summer. Sending you big love. Mwah.